Hello, heroes. I'm Tom Pounder, and this is the Digital in 5 show. This is the show that I take 5 minutes to talk about digital tools and trends that are happening around the world and applied into our ministry context. In today's episode, we're going to talk about 5 tech trends that are happening to be looking forward to in 2021. Things to be watching for and looking at, and then look to see how these tech trends are moving and then apply it into our ministry. So just to go through these, because I only have 5 minutes to do this, I'm going to go through these really quick. The first development is continued AI and VR growth. Okay, so AI has been developing for years and years now. Amazon with the Alexa, Google has their own Google service, and Apple does as well with Siri. These are very important, and they're developing and they're growing, and you can use these in ministry context. In fact, I have a blog post that I'm going to link to this where you can learn more how you can use AI for your ministry. But VR took a big step forward, and it has been taking a big step forward over the past few years. But this year in particular, in 2020, it's grown even more. So it's something to be continuing to be looking at, seeing what VR is doing, seeing what AI is doing, and then again, apply it into our ministry context. How can you use what's happening in that technology and apply it into your ministry context? So that's the first thing. The second thing is continued video conferencing development. Okay, so Zoom took off in a big way. And there was also Google Meet, there was also FaceTime, but Zoom took off in a huge way when COVID hit. Well, they developed and they grew, and they're continued developing and growing because, again, the reality is most people are not going to be going back to work early on in 2021. Maybe towards the later part of the year, they're going to be going back to in-person work, but there's still going to be a lot of remote working. And that means that video conferencing technology is going to continue to advance and develop. So as you grow in your ministry and you're continuing to meet with people, look to see how video conferencing is developing. Hey, it may be Zoom down the road. It may be a completely different piece of technology that you're going to be using by the end of 2021. So look for more development in video conferencing. The third trend to be watching for is cybersecurity and more development there. Okay, listen, when Zoom came out, Zoom was awesome, but there was a lot of Zoom bombing. Remember Zoom bombing? Now, it still happens, but Zoom made a lot of developments and changes to their platform to make sure that their security was better because people were Zoom bombing a lot of inappropriate stuff. So the reality is cybersecurity is going to continue to grow and develop. As we're working more and more online, there's going to be more and more people who are going to be looking to do bad things with it, unfortunately. So we have to make sure that we're watching to protect our ministries with cybersecurity. Look to see which companies are growing and developing in cybersecurity, and so that you can put that software and help you protect your ministries as you're continuing to minister to people all over the world. The fourth thing is something I just hinted on earlier with video conferencing, but remote work is going to continue to be a big deal. Again, a lot of companies and a lot of ministries are not going back in person for a variety of different reasons, and until people feel more comfortable, remote work is going to be a big deal. So make sure that you are using proper technology and proper things at home to be most effective. The cool thing is that early on in COVID, I made up a list of gear that you'll need to transform your work office back at wherever you were working in your ministry into a home office, what technology gear you need. And so I'm going to attach that as well, and so that your remote work is most effective. And the last trend to be watching is video gaming. Okay, video gaming has been very popular, but video gaming is now a whole different level. Xbox just released a new video game console. PlayStation just released their PlayStation 5. Nintendo still got the Switch. Google and Apple are doing some great streaming video game opportunities as well. And video gaming is going to continue to develop, and it's going to continue to grow. It's already over a $90 billion industry, and there's lots of new things. Like I heard that high schools now are offering video gaming as sports. And so there's an opportunity there for you to do ministry with video games. Don't count it off because it's lazy work or it can be mindless. Of course it can be, but so can be watching TikTok or getting on Twitter. There's lots of things that can suck your time away. But if you use video gaming as a ministry, there's lots of great ministry opportunities for you right there in video gaming. All right, so those are the tech trends that I see in 2021 to be watching for. But the key thing that you want to be looking for is, as you see a tech trend, think through, how can I use this for my ministry? How can I use this more effectively so that I can minister to more people for Jesus Christ? What kind of technology trend can I be using and monitoring to use it? Again, some tech things that come out have no ministry purpose whatsoever. But the great thing about it is that there's a lot of technology that you can be using for ministry, and so that's what you want to be doing. But again, these are the 5 tech trends that I'm looking at. I know there's other ones. So if you've got a tech trend you're seeing that has ministry purposes, put it in the comment section below or hit me up on Twitter at @TAPounder. I would love to continue this conversation. All right, heroes, well, that wraps it up for this Digital in 5 show today. As always, if you enjoyed the video or audio podcast version of it, go to YouTube and subscribe to the video stuff, or go to Spotify or iTunes and subscribe to the show as well. I've got all that and much, much more at ymsidekick.com. Now, also, if you want to learn more about Digital Bootcamp, the Facebook group that is for all ministers that helps us all learn digital tools and trends so we can reach more people for Christ, I've got that information as well in the show notes, but also at ymsidekick.com. All right, heroes, well, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll talk to you soon with a whole new video or podcast.